Hey Mekorma users, my name's Beth, and I'm a content creator here at Mekorma. In this video, I'd like to show you how Dynamics GP's Named Printers feature works in conjunction with Mekorma check printing. Named printers can save you time and eliminate printing errors by allowing you to configure in advance which printer you're going to use to print your MICR checks, check copies, overflows, and EFT remittances. This means you will not have to choose a printer each time you process payments, unless, of course, you want to. It's not required that you set up named printers unless you use Mekorma multi-batch management to process your payments using multiple checkbooks across multiple companies. Before you can configure named printers for Mekorma processes, you do need to confirm that a machine ID is entered and that a default printer has been assigned in Dynamics GP. If you're not sure how to do this, please refer to your GP documentation. Let's get started. An administrator should handle named printers configuration, so I'll log in as SA and open the Assign Named Printers window. The first thing you'll need to do is set the task series to third party to display Mekorma task descriptions. A different printer ID can be assigned to each of these tasks as needed. In my current configuration, None in the Printer class column indicates that Named Printers is currently turned off for Mekorma printing. If I choose the Printer class drop-down menu here, I see that I have several options for how printers are assigned. In this video, we'll only discuss the first four, as they are the most useful selections when processing payments with both Mekorma MICR and multi-batch management. System will apply the same designated printer across companies and for every GP user. User will allow each individual user to be assigned a unique printer applied to every company the user prints from. Company gives the option to assign a printer on a per-company basis, no matter which user is printing in that company. And user and company ties printers to individual users on a per-company basis. However, before we assign printers to Mekorma tasks, we will need to set up all printers needed. To do this, click on Setup to open the Setup Named Printers window. In my first example, I want to designate a specific printer for printing checks at the system level. In the Printer ID field, I'll type in checks. You can choose any label that clearly indicates the printer's purpose. By the way, Mekorma does recommend that you have a dedicated printer for check printing. Then I'll choose the correct printer by using the lookup option and click Save. In my next example, I want to assign a specific printer to user Debbie. I'll type her name in the Printer ID field. Remember, you can label this configuration in any way that works best for you, and then set the printer class to user. It's also necessary to select her user ID here. To assign a unique printer to a company, create your printer ID, choose the company printer class, the correct company here, and the printer you'd like to use. And finally, to assign a printer to both a user and a company, designate an appropriate ID, choose User and Company from the drop-down menu, and fill in all needed information. One extra thing. The extra description field is optional unless you are setting up the check copy printer. In that case, please enter the number of copies desired in this field, or you will not be able to print check copies. You can set up as many printer IDs as you need. I've just configured 4 unique printer IDs that I can now tie to Mekorma printing tasks. Before doing so, we need to take care of one more detail. Switch to Purchasing for the task series on the Assigned Named Printers window. Then set all purchasing tasks to None, so your assigned Mekorma printers will not conflict with other assignments here. Now, switch back to third party and we'll assign our named printers to each task description as desired. I want the system level checks printer to be assigned to MICR check printing, so I'll choose System as the printer class here, and the named printers window will automatically open to display all system level printers. If I want to change the printer, all I have to do is click the lookup icon next to the Printer ID link and the Named Printers window will open again. I also want my EFT remittances to be printed on a system-level printer configured for that purpose, so I'll select that here. For check copies, I'm going to assign Debbie's printer ID. I have to be sure that Debbie is selected as the user here in order to be able to select printers assigned to her. And for the check overflows, I will assign by user and company, being sure to make the correct adjustments in the fields here. Please remember that named printers is required for Mekorma multi-batch management setup, whether using the product on a desktop or in the Dynamics GP web client. Although the web client prints using a different application, named printers still must be configured. Once you've completed named printer setup, when you print checks, the Mekorma check printing screen will not display, and the checks are sent directly to the printer or printers based on your setup and assignments. If you prefer that the Mekorma check printing screen appear each time you print, you'll need to turn off named printers for Mekorma tasks. The same applies if you use session or redirected printing. Neither GP or Mekorma supports named printers in those instances. To do this, after having chosen the third-party task series in the Assign Named Printers window, revert to None for all Mekorma printing processes. And that's how to set up named printers for Mekorma printing tasks. I hope this video has been helpful, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.